but we need to talk Stars Wild because Game 1 was atrocious for Dallas. And who better to bring on and talk about this series than the man himself, the greatest American-born hockey player in the history of the game, Mike Modano, joining the show, the inaugural guest, the guinea pig for the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Mo, how are you? Thanks for coming on with us.
Thanks, guys, for having me. So far, so good. I'll give you that.
Well, we're only 5 minutes and 24 seconds in, so we'll figure out a way to go off the rails at some point along the way. How's the golf game? You still playing a good bit of golf, I imagine?
I am now. We finally got rid of the snow. We had a little bit of a flurry a couple mornings ago, so we're finally back up to 70, 65. A little bit of a late spring here in Minnesota, but plan on playing Wednesday and starting to get into it. But these long winters have cut into the handicap for sure, but that might be a good thing for me. I need a little mental rest sometimes to get away from golf, and with the amount of stuff that we have going on in our lives, it's hard to squeeze in 9 holes even if I wanted to.
Well, if we can call up Cut 6 real quick, because we've got evidence of the fact that you are quite the golfer, going back to your time at the American Century Classic. This is going back 5 years now, and a double eagle, a 2 on a par 5, the first ever in the history of that event. Not bad. What was that moment like for you, Mo?
It was pretty exciting knowing that's the first one they've had since the inauguration in 85, 86. So it's usually it's a fairly short par 5 in the altitude, and some guys hit it so long they're hitting 8, 7 irons, 6 irons, and sometimes 9 into that hole, and still no one had done it until that point. And I was playing with Oshie and Pavelski, and we were playing so bad all day. We're like, let's just try to hit it as hard as off the tee box. We both hooked it left, and you can see the range is on the left, so that's OB left of that sand trap there. And we all clanked around in the trees, and they were kind of blocked from it, and they had to punch out. And so I had this little alleyway. So my wife was caddying at the time, Allison. We were bickering about 5 or 6 iron. We were kind of going back and forth. So I'm like, all right, I'm not going to argue with you. Whatever you think I'm going to hit, tell me. And I don't want to fight about it the rest of the night. So we went with 6 and did it pretty good. And then the rest is history. So the guys were going crazy. So yeah, first and only one there, folks.
Mike, would Joe Pavelski help this Stars team get over the hump? Joe Pavelski now, not Joe Pavelski 5 years ago.
Joe Pavelski 5 years ago might help a lot, but you get into these circumstances. You just game 1 is game 1. Minnesota came out really on top of their game and just kind of took it to them and kind of really dictated the whole night. So their power play was obviously tremendous for them, and that's really kind of what it's going to come down to. Dallas has got a deadly power play as well. If teams can stay 5-on-5 and be disciplined and keep it that way, it's hard to say. It's a coin toss at that point. But you get into those penalty issues. Both teams are, like I said, deadly. But Minnesota came out good. They steal that first one. It puts a lot of pressure on these guys tomorrow night to come out and have a heck of a game to even the series up. So Wild put themselves in a good spot right now.
Mike, real quick, I know you're one of the few people that have played for the North Stars and the Dallas Stars and had that kind of dual role to some degree, especially now as far as an advisory role with the Wild. Given your connection to both of these fan bases, what has it been like embracing this series for the second time? Because I know you kind of had a precursor in 2023.
Yeah, it's. I think the fan base in Minnesota, they're just dying for some type of deep run. They haven't had one since. It's been a long time. I think I'm going to date myself, but it's been mid 2000s. I think when they got to the conference final, and we were actually the team that were going to beat them, but we lost in the second round. So that would have been a great conference final matchup. Us against the Stars against the Wild back in the day. I think it was 07, 08 maybe that we did that. So, but that would have been a heck of a conference final. But the fan base here is just starving for a deep run, and they finally got all the tools. They got some talent. They made a blockbuster trade getting Quinn Hughes, and so everything seems to be all cylinders go. But you know how quick the crowd can get in Dallas. They scored that first one last night. I'm like, oh God, here they come. They're going to get the second, and then the place is going to start going bananas down there because normally they do in the playoffs. So, but I've had a taste of both runs. 91, we had a great run with the North Stars and the Met Center, and the fan base there was going crazy. So I've been lucky to have two deep runs in two towns, and here we are again. It's going to be interesting.
Not to date you too much, but you did bring it up, so I have to ask. The playoff structure as it stands right now, 8 teams did not exist when you were drafted back in '88. As one of the forebearers for the expansion of NHL in the United States, what is it like seeing how much the sport has changed specifically?
Would you like us to kick him out now, Mo?
It's okay. We have a penalty box.
We love that expansion in '93, '94 because we came down here and then we played, we got Anaheim, San Jose, Winnipeg moved to Phoenix. So our division, we kind of owned our division for a good long time. A lot of expansion teams in our division at once, so we were pretty lucky there. The travel was brutal, but our results were really good back then. Everything kind of transpired, but just the growth in hockey in general in the U.S. has just been amazing. You got back-to-back Stanley Cup champs in Florida. Tampa Bay's had their run. Obviously, us in Dallas had a good run. So L.A. had a couple runs there deep. So you have non-hockey markets per se years ago that are now thriving and having a great fan base. So it's been great to see. And you see all the kids coming up. They just the talent pool has just increased, and the World Juniors have gotten better. American players have gotten better. So there's a lot more avenues and directions these can take in high school and to allow them to get to the highest level.
This is a series that I think a lot of people, present company included, think should have been a second-round series at the earliest. Yeah. What do you feel about the way that they currently structure the playoffs and the fact that this is, within the Central Division, a meeting in the first round?
Yeah, I agree. It just happens to be our division just happens to be, probably the toughest in the league. So It's unfortunate that 2 of these teams are going to be out after the second round. So it's tough. I was always a big fan of the 1-8, 2-7 kind of thing, and then reseed after the first round. And it just gives that, those top 4 teams a little bit of a, you could say cushion, but nowadays it's just the parity is so good that, anybody can beat anybody in a given series. So it's hard to hold serve. It's hard to hold home ice. But I certainly love the old format where you can just get the tougher series as you go on in the playoffs and get to that conference final where Dallas, Minnesota, or Dallas, Colorado, or Minnesota, Colorado, you get into that conference final could be a heck of a series to get into the Stanley Cup Finals.
Mike, the Stars have a few talented American-born players. Do you find yourself pulling for those guys maybe a little bit more, just given your history in relation to the sport as a U.S.-born star?
Yeah, I think so. I think you always like to see those guys thrive a little bit and have some great success. And Andre, he's going to bounce back and have a heck of a series game tomorrow. I'm sure he's going to be solid. Jason's just had a phenomenal year. A lot of dilemma there: who should have been, who shouldn't have been on the USA Olympic team. But obviously, he's one of the best scorers in the league, and obviously Quinn, just Faber. Those guys have just been rock solid. Matt Boldy, just phenomenal Olympics in Milan, and it's kind of carried over to the rest of the season. And then they all 3 of them had just a great game 1.
Let's break down some of the game 1 stats here real quick. Bring up VO2 here just to show the record for the Stars since 2022. That was the series against Calgary, which they didn't have home ice. But 2-9 in game 1s since that point. 1-7, so they played 8 of those at home, and they're 1-7 in those. And as we kind of go through game 1 history as the next VO here, this is just it laid out. A lot of those losses are in overtime. You can call that puck luck. I'm curious though, Mike, for some of these teams when they go through these stretches, and granted, it's not always the same team that laces them up. How much of that is mental? How much of that is just the way the puck bounces?
Well, I think at some point it has to get into your kitchen a little bit where you start thinking about it. If you have a bad start and you get behind a goal or 2, you're thinking, oh no, here we go again. We're gonna, the fan's gonna get on us. We're gonna try too hard, and then you try to go out too much, try to score 2 goals in one shift to kind of get it back to even, and you're trying too hard. Then it gets just snowballed out of the other way, and you get a little undisciplined. You try to take chances, and then then it just falls apart. So it's adamant, just stay with your program, stay with your game plan. Don't get discouraged. Don't stay off stay at the course. But it's hard to do it in playoffs. It's hard to do it at home when you know how valuable home ice is and those wins at home as the series goes on. And if it gets to game 7, you have the luxury of having that thing at home. So, it's it's very important to hold serve. But it starts creeping in the psyche when you start having these slow starts, and you got to keep fighting from behind.
Jake Oettinger has caught a lot of flack for his performance, not just in Game 1, but throughout the back half of the season from Stars fans. And I feel like, especially as you look at the way that Game 1 was played, that was a complete system failure for the Stars. That was not something that should fall only at the feet of Oettinger. He wasn't good, don't get me wrong, but he was part of a much larger issue across the entire team. When you see that kind of criticism fall on one player, sometimes undeservingly so, what do you feel about, one, his performance and the conjecture that has surrounded him for a while now?
Well, I think I've always said those are the two toughest positions in sports, is a quarterback and a goalie for a team, that is expected to win and have some success. So, a few of those goals the other night were hard. That's a great shot by Kriprasov. I mean, he just had the size of a puck there to stick it over his shoulder. And Erickson, he's left alone on the power play. Boldy again. So, little breakdowns, and again, it's a power play that killed them. I mean, you give those guys quality chances in close. I don't care who's in net. Those guys are too good to pick them apart, and they can put that puck anywhere they want to put it. So those are hard. Those are hard to blame Oettinger for, but he did get a coach fired last year for pulling him. So he's got some. He got some pull there in town. So we don't want to go down that road again, but. He's got the chance to kind of redeem himself next Wednesday night, and they tie it up Wednesday. All be forgotten.
Yeah, no, listen, if you're not going to win out over Jake Oettinger, if you're Pete DeBoer, the Stars fans certainly aren't going to win out over Jake Oettinger, at least not in Jim Nill's office, and for good reason, because the skins that this kid's got on the wall, he's shown himself to be a quality playoff goaltender, and I imagine we're going to see more of that tonight in Game 2 of the series. Much more to come with Mike Modano when we come back on the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Back inside the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show as we continue along with the great Mike Modano, the Dallas Stars legend, the man who's got his statue outside of the AAC. And Mo, we went into the files a little bit to find some video from your playing days. And candidly, this was a clip that I had personally not come across. I had seen all the clips of you skating the cup and scoring goals and all the exploits of your career. I had not seen you, as we call up clip 7, we'll go sound full with this, you getting dropped off of a stretcher at MSG back in 1994. Mo, how did this happen? Take us through this story. How does this happen in the first place, and what do you remember of this night?
I don't remember much of that one, but
because that was post-concussion, right?
That was, yeah, and I just got another one there too. So thank God I was strapped in, but I just got clocked by Messier, just the biggest elbow coming across the blue line at Reunion, and he just laid me out. So I was just out, and then our trainer actually was trying to help the trainer. The ambulance guys, the medics trying to push it. Those gurneys, when you shove them into the back of an ambulance, those things coil up. So he hit the releasing on the side, and then it just tilted. And I'm like, man, I think I've had more views on that and talks about that than probably anything else in my life. So
I don't know. Your highlights, your exploits on the ice have definitely been viewed a time or two as well, and for good reason. You're a father of 5. You've got the 2 twins. You've got 3 kids that followed after that as well, all between 6 and 12, I believe, age range for your kids. Your daughter, Katie, I understand, a big Caitlin Clark fan?
Yes, she is. But she's the twin girl, Kate. She's the big hockey player. So she just was in Nashville for 6 days at a hockey tournament. She plays very serious in hockey and a little bit of basketball. But the twin brother, he's the football, basketball guy, and the rest are little hockey and soccer and basketball sprinkled in all of them. So we're all over the place and chasing our tail. So, but it's been a lot of fun. I love watching them and just kind of hanging out and watching them play. So I'm a big fan and just hanging out. So I'm enjoying it.
So we've got some pictures we're showing here of your beautiful family, your 5 kids, your 3 daughters with your wife. And there's a picture from around Christmas time that we found that you sent along to us. And we couldn't help but notice that your 2 daughters are wearing and holding paraphernalia that is rather Minnesota Wild themed. I know Dallas Stars fans love you through and through, but to see your kids in Wild gear probably stings just a little bit. What is this series like for you because of how split you are between Minnesota and Dallas?
Yeah, it's a rock and a hard place for sure, but that littlest one, she's the biggest Nordy, the mascot fan, so she just wants to go to the game to see Nordy. The other ones, they didn't really, obviously didn't see much of my career. They just know a lot from what kids tell them at school actually now that, especially being in Minnesota, a lot of their dads and grandparents grew up watching me play when I was with the North Stars. So there's a little, they're starting to understand a little bit. But, our first game here, when we moved here, we went to XL and we're walking around the concourse and people are coming up and saying hi and wanting a picture and this and that. So finally the middle child, Reese with the hat on, said, "Dad, I know why they're coming up to say hi to you. It's because of the Mighty Ducks, isn't it?" I'm like, I go, yeah, that was it. So put me in my place again.
Amazing. Mike, you mentioned that your daughter is playing youth hockey. I'm curious, as a dad who's got a child kind of in youth sports, especially hockey, how different is it compared to when you were kind of going through the youth hockey circuit, however many years ago? I'm not gonna say the number.
Yeah, date ourselves there, but it could be more. It couldn't be more opposite. I just think that there's so many things going on in a kid's life with sports and special skill set stuff and specialty clinics and all these camps and everything else. And it was used to be, you show up for hockey in September, you play till April, you put away the gear, you brought out the baseball glove and bat and played little league baseball till fall and played again. But now these kids can go year round playing sports and being so into it. So it's really difficult because if you don't feel like you do it, you feel like they might be behind and come back to the sport when they do take some time off, that they're playing catch up and they're not going to get up to speed with everybody else. So it's a very challenging time to be a kid in sports, and especially a parent, because you feel like you want to get them into the best things and the best quality things. And but sometimes you just feel it's just such a money grab for people just to kind of get them into camps and pay for it and sign them up for things. So it's a lot different. We try to minimize it as much and take some trips and have some moments away and get away and get out of town. But certainly, and anywhere, childhood sports, it's so competitive and raised up another level. I can't believe being a kid nowadays back to when I was riding dirt bikes. I was playing pond, fishing. Yeah.
Multi-sport.
I mean,
there you go.
I lived out in the country in Michigan. I mean, I was just having a ball, and now it's just like it's 24/7 sports.
Before the days of social media, too.
Oof.
Yeah, very, very, very different time. Well, let's go back to that 99 Cup run, because that was obviously such a moment that Stars fans remember so fondly. When you had the opportunity to hoist the cup in the air there on the ice in Buffalo, what goes through your mind in that moment? All the work that you did to get to that point, what goes through your mind in that moment?
Oh, man, I don't know. I just feel like it was just such a long time coming. The ups and downs and everything that you go through as a player, organization, the move, ownership changes, GMs, coaches, players, the players that we brought in to kind of help us get over the hump. Man, it was just, thoughts of being traded before. I was just having a hard time, bumps in the roads here and there. But, man, it was just a total sense of relief, having, Hitchcock and, man, some of the guys, the coaching staff, Bob Gainey, just all the hard work that went into it, that finally you felt like you kind of paid back about what they thought they might have saw in you as an 18-year-old, or that you finally paid back 12 years later. So it was relief. I was just emotional beyond. I just started bawling, and I just was holding Hully and Sidor, and I just couldn't stop. And Hitch is trying to console me. I just think it was like the weight of the world just came off me, and it was an amazing feeling. Those 3-4 years in Dallas, those runs to the Western Conference back-to-back finals. I mean, I don't know if there's anything more intense and loud and more stressful than and more fun playing at Reunion, and the fans and that town was just at another level. Those were some best times in the world I had.
So we have a director on our crew, Kelly, who is the biggest Stars fan that we have in the room by a long, long list.
That's not an understatement. No.
Well, it really is not. She's got the bobbleheads of you as well as who's the other bobblehead behind you? Is it Robo?
It's Wyatt.
Oh, it's Wyatt. Okay,
know.
but she's got the.
This is you, man.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to at least open up the floor a little bit here for Kelly to jump into this conversation as well, because she was so geeked up when we found out that you were going to be on the show.
I'm trying to pay attention to my job, but yes, I'm super geeked. I want to know, what did you do your day with the cup? What did you do with it?
Well, I was living in Capel, obviously. I think at the time, just off O'Connor, right near the Valley Ranch and by the Cowboys and Stars facility there. So we just had a real short, small little gathering. We had some neighborhood friends. I had a few family members in town. What was funny about that is that after we won, I think there was a lot of requests from Tom Hicks wanting to keep the cup in the city, because normally as soon as you win and you have your parade, it's gone, it's out, and it goes back to Toronto, and then you kind of start submitting your dates of when you think you want to have it, and the guy with the cup starts doing his itinerary and where he's got to travel around, the country and Europe and everything else to hit all the guys' spots. But for us, I think after that final, that cup was in town for I think about 3 weeks, leading up to even well after the parade. So I think what was funny is Tom just had it in the mornings, and he had some friends and stuff. So we ended up having it, I think, for about 9 days straight.
Nice.
At nighttime.
That's not a day with the cup. That's a week and a half.
We had 9 days with that thing. Every night we were somewhere different. And I don't think anybody else has ever had stories like we had for 8 or 9 days in a row with the cup in the town. So we were everywhere. And, the finale was the big party at Vinnie Paul's house the night before the parade. And we were all late for the parade because that went right into about 8:30 in the morning. And then we had to drive down the reunion somehow and get on the floats and go around town. But I think after those 9 days, I'm like, get this thing out of here, because I feel like I might go into a detox. So
hardly even make it to the 99-2000 season.
I don't know. We were so hurting on that float. So I can't imagine.
So this video right now that we're showing of the parade, you don't remember any of this?
I do. Obviously, I remember every minute of it, but it was great. But we were just in deep trouble, just late. And those guys, I don't know how those guys made it. They were with us that night too. So, man, it was just a big blur, and we had a ball. And then mine came back, I think, more at the end of June or maybe end of July. So it couldn't have been a more calm party than I had than what we had the first 2 weeks with that thing.
Mike, where would that 99 Stars team be without Pantera?
I don't know. Between Vinny and Luds, that relationship sparked something that's been going on to this day. So it was very intricate part. They became really good friends of a lot of us back then, and so I think it was Craig and Vinny just kind of collaborating on trying to put something together as far as some type of theme song or some little riff that they could build, put together and play for, in the stands or at the arenas. And who would have known it grew into this. So Lutz didn't have, he wanted a copy of it for our Game 6 in St. Louis, that second round. And then all of a sudden we're getting ready to go out for overtime, and Lutz puts it in our CD player, and he's playing it, and so we go off to overtime, and sure enough, about 4 or 5 minutes into it, we score and get through that thing, and then it's off to Colorado. So it was a big part of our career, and we're lucky to have those guys around.
I got to ask, the night of Game 6, when did it ever dawn on anybody in the locker room that there was a controversy over the final goal? Or did it even happen
I don't
that
think,
night, or was it after?
It was. Well, no, because Ruff came out just in a heat. He came out to the players' bench in Buffalo. He was just hot, and and the red carpet's out. And I think Bettman's getting ready to walk out with the cup and present it to Hatch, and he was just in that tunnel. He was just kind of losing his mind, obviously, and that sparked a whole, obviously, debate. And, the rules changed, I think, a dozen times since '99 with what's interference and what's not. And it was I think on their half they were hot. So I don't think we really realized it. We were later in that locker room, that could have been goalie interference at some point.
All right, we've got a couple minutes left here with Mike Modano, and Mo, we really appreciate your time. We've been playing gaming segments on our weekly show. We're going to bring some of them to the weekday show as well, and we're going to do the very first one with you right now.
So self-explanatory. It is called This or That. I've got a series of statements for Mike Modano and the rest of our panel. It's their job to decide which side they prefer on this. And the idea behind this is it's Minnesota versus Dallas. So it's northern culture versus southern culture. And I just want to put Mike on the spot with some of these more specific elements to our way of living down here. So let's pick it up with the first thing here. You prefer Texas Hold'em or euchre?
I'm a Midwesterner, so I'm kind of leaning towards euchre a little.
When I tell you, like I asked this yesterday to our sports director Sean Hamilton, he asked me, "What is euchre?"
That's where I am right now. What
What
is euchre?
Just the fact that it's a question shows the divide down here. Because I grew born and raised down in Plano. I went to school up in Minnesota, and it was like a whole nother world when euchre came alive, and it was like, oh my goodness, this is amazing. So I'm on the euchre side, but that's also I was never a big poker player.
I'm from the Northeast myself, but I've never heard. Have you ever heard of euchre? Do you know what this is?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I don't know how to play it.
I have no idea.
Oh,
this is the first I've heard the word.
It was a big game on the bus in Saskatchewan back in juniors with Prince Albert too, and then we played a lot on the plains with. Verbeek was my partner, and then we always played Nieuwendyk and Langenbrunner. So we had the aisle seats, and we kind of go back and forth. And it's kind of a suit thing. You call your tricks, and you try to get as many as you can in the same suit. And it's a long story. 9 through ace is the only cards you use.
It's only half the deck.
The jokers of that suit, whatever you call, are the dominant cards. So you have joker, joker, ace. So, we'll leave it at that.
Well, we got to have Mo just teach us how to play euchre right now. This is great.
All right, moving on here. Number 2. Do you prefer brisket or hot dish?
Oh, brisket, no doubt. I'd miss a good brisket, man.
Did you have a spot down here in DFW?
Oh, man, it was just the one just north of our practice center.
In Frisco or in
Frisco? Yep, up the way, about another mile up there, right by the soccer stadium.
Rudy's?
Was it?
Rudy's?
Yep. Rudy's Road.
Yeah.
Is it Roadhouse? Yeah.
There is a Rudy's that's
there's
up
a
that
Rudy's.
way, so maybe that's where you've hit before. Yeah.
Either way,
killer.
how often have you heard when people come from north down south, like, oh, I'm just coming down here for the barbecue?
All the time. Tex-Mex and barbecue. You just can't get it in the Midwest up north. It is nowhere to be found.
There's
so
no
that's
flavor
the
up
biggest.
there. Number 3.
Casserole. It's long cooking casserole, so it's like
A little more specific here. Whataburger or Culver's?
Whataburger. No
Interesting.
doubt.
I got converted to Culver's when I lived up north.
I'm going to tell you I'm a huge fan of yours, but this is where you're wrong.
See, this is where this game needs to become Mo, Andrew, and Kelly, because I think Jonah and I are both over here going, what? I've never had Culver's in my life.
I'll have White Castle. Give me those little.
Yeah,
Maybe
White Castle
chicken
is a
things.
good.
White
What they
Castle.
call those things?
Those
What
little
they call
mini
White Castle?
sliders.
It's
Or,
the little
Yeah,
sliders.
the sliders. There's a reason they're called sliders.
Whataburger
Right.
was good at 2 a.m. after the Red Jacket off Greenville Avenue. You go up a little north and hit that Whataburger at 2 a.m. There's nothing better tasting.
All right, number 4. Do you find yourself more an air conditioner person or a space heater person?
I like being cold. I'd rather be cold than hot. I'd rather be. I'd run a little better when it's cold. So I'm a big air conditioner guy.
You'd fit well in our studio right now. It's freezing in this space, and
So nice.
Everybody except for me seems to love it. So, well, when Michelle's in here on Wednesday, that will change.
I could play 18 in here. That's perfect.
All All right, last one, number 5, a little more specific. Dialectical, oofta, or bless your heart. Have you used either of these before?
I've had a lot of guys in Dallas use "Bless Your Heart." A lot of friends of mine all "Bless Your Heart." That was one. A couple buddies of mine that weren't players; they were friends of mine off the ice. That God, they'd use "Bless Your Heart" all the time. So I'm going with that one.
There are subliminal messages behind "Bless Your Heart" that aren't quite as kind as they sound coming out.
Well, it's the Minnesota nice thing. That's the difference. You know what I mean?
Aggressive.
Yes. So honestly, like when you first moved down here, how much of that culture shift was evident, and how much do you find yourself already kind of adapting to life in the South? I mean, that had to be a pretty significant culture shift from Detroit and Minnesota down to Dallas.
Yeah, we I think knowing nothing about it was kind of the good thing. None of us at that point, I don't think anybody in that lineup that we moved down there had even been to Texas or Dallas, let alone anywhere down there. So I think that was kind of nice that we were just kind of so naive to the whole place. So we were kind of open-minded to anything and everything that that Dallas had to offer. But you know, the neat thing about Dallas in the 90s or late 80s was it was just kind of a real, smaller niche kind of town. It had a big city feel, but Dallas was easy to get around. Fort Worth was close, just kind of an intimate little city. It's so massive now. It's just huge when I come in there. It's just amazing how much the growth has been since early 90s in that city. You could find little holes in the wall and kind of get away from everybody. But, boy, you fell in love with, like I said, Mexican food, barbecue, margaritas. I mean, it was just I love food down there. The weather, just everything else. Scenery was great, so everything was all cylinders in Dallas when I got there at 23. It's so much. It was funny. After my first year, I was at short story. I was at Arcadoros, and I happened to back up and stepped on a guy's foot. So he turns around, looks at me. He's like, "Hey, you Mike?" I go, "Yeah, nice to meet you. Just got done with it. We're just getting ready to start playoffs." And so we got into playoffs. Him and I kind of hit it off. We kind of kept in touch. And man, he was a local kid, so he was probably my age, so he knew all the places to go to. And I think for about 3 weeks, I went out with this guy every night. And I woke up my birthday day, June 7th. I woke up. I'm like, I need to get out of this town, and I need to take a break because if I don't, I went too hard, too early, right out of the gates as a 23-year-old. I'm like, I need to get out of here. I came back to Minnesota to train and maybe dry out and just kind of get back in shape and get ready for the season the next fall. But I had the most fun my first year that summer in Dallas. I was like, oh my God. But I'm like, it's like a candy store. I was just having too much fun. I said, I got to go get some priorities straight and come back. But boy, man, I loved it from the moment got off the plane.
Mike Modano choosing not to live in Dallas anymore because he needs to dry out in Minnesota. That's the lesson that we've learned here. Mike Modano, the very first guest here on the Ultimate Dallas Sports Show. Mo, thank you very, very much. We really appreciate you coming on with us. And I'm learning today. My father's even texted me, Culver's and the Butterburgers. That's the way to go,
yes,
apparently.
Absolutely.
So I have learned. We have learned something today. Mo, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.